Hello and welcome to this Simply Naturals business presentation. We're about to discover the inside track on a company with a short history but with already a phenomenal rate of growth. The reason for this is underpinned particularly by its core product, as you'll find out, which is creating quite remarkable stories of people experiencing quite remarkable benefits. So without further ado, let's find out a little bit more about the business. As you can see, the company is British owned and is based in Surrey, but the particular relevance here is the experience of the management team. It's not just in standard corporate management that these guys know what they're doing. In a previous incarnation, they, using the same business model that they've now put into Simply Naturals, created a business in the UK alone that generated in excess of 200,000 customers. Now that is a huge degree of success. So it's that knowledge, that expertise, that knowing how to make this work that they've brought into this business, which is what sets it apart. In addition, they've created a policy of being 100% debt-free, which means that as we're fast moving, we can move when we want, introduce new products, enter new countries, etc., not beholden to anybody else who might have a hand on the purse strings. The mission of this company is also what sets it apart. It's not about turnover, it's not about profit. It is about educating people about the fundamental benefits of plant-derived minerals and the impact they have on our health and our well-being. The company itself is committed to producing a portfolio of the most potent nutritional products that you can get anywhere on the planet, based around our plant-derived minerals. And our first significant goal is that by 2020, we will have 1 million families that are benefiting from the immense health rewards of taking plant-derived minerals. Okay, so this is what all the fuss is about. Sizzling Minerals, as the product is called, arrives in a box exactly like this one. And as you can see, we state that it's a life-changing health product. This is not a glib phrase that we're just casually throwing in here. If, for instance, you've been struggling with low energy, tiredness, chronic fatigue, something like that, and you take these and you're energized, that is life-changing. If you've been pulling yourself upstairs by the banisters because the pain from your arthritis has been so intense, and that pain either reduces or actually disappears completely, and you walk upstairs effortlessly, that is life-changing. If you're somebody who's been struggling with sleep for years or months, and you take these and then you experience such a deep night's sleep and you wake up refreshed, rested, that is life-changing. We don't use that as a throwaway line. Taking a step back, if you're looking at getting involved in a business, you want to be sure that this is unique to you, and it is. Sizzling Minerals are made and are therefore unique to Simply Naturals. Of that you can rest assured. And finally, this statement sounds like a huge generalization where everyone needs it. Now, we're going to demonstrate that factually in this presentation, but just consider this. From a health point of view, it's tragic that that's the case. From a business point of view, you couldn't wish for anything better. So these are all reasons why this company is absolutely flying. So let's take a look at minerals themselves. Why minerals? What is it about minerals? Well, Dr. Linus Pauling, there's a big research institute that's named after him in the USA. He got 2 Nobel Prizes for his work, interestingly, with vitamins. But it wasn't until after that he started to ask questions about minerals and realized that was really where it was at with regards to his research. Now, when you read his statement, his conclusion, think about not just yourself, but your friends, your family, loved ones, work colleagues, anybody that you know, because this is the marketplace. This is how wide this applies to. It's every single human being. Linus Pauling came to the conclusion that you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. That is quite extraordinary, breathtaking in terms of its scope. In addition, Dr. Gary Price Todd, who's authored many books specifically on plant-derived minerals, came to the conclusion that our bodies need at least 60 minerals, not, note, for optimum health, but to maintain a disease and ailment-free state. On average, people are getting between 15 and maybe 25 minerals per day. So you can see there's already a huge shortfall. And on the next slide, you'll see what the consequences of that can be to our health. Let's have a look at what happens if you don't have sufficient levels of mineral. Well, long term, our bodies actually can't survive, so that's pretty drastic. But breaking it down, our immune system, for one. People will be struggling with coughs, colds, bugs, picking up anything that's going on and around, and seemingly constantly struggling with that kind of thing. It's true to say that people taking sizzling minerals just have a sense of confidence because they feel strong. That's your immune system, and which is why we seem to be catching way less than most other people. Healthy bones. Of course, bones are made from calcium, a primary mineral. There's so much in our day-to-day diet that leaches calcium out, which causes osteoporosis for one, which is debilitating and painful. Enzyme function, basically we're talking about digestive system. The amount of people that actually don't realize that their digestive system is not working properly. And then when they start taking sizzling minerals, will produce, shall we say, solid evidence to tell them that they're back on track. Balanced pH. pH is something which naturally our bodies are just in an alkaline state. There's a school of thought that says that if we go into the acidic world, then that enables disease to take hold. So the body needs to maintain its pH balance. And again, if there's an absence of minerals, it finds itself very, very hard to do so. Cellular health, you're talking about trillions of cells. Each one of our cells generates energy. Now, it's kind of like if you're missing on minerals, like having the battery terminals oxidized, so there is a reduction in the amount of energy that is generated, therefore tiredness, etc., etc. So every single area of these is what is impacted by a lack of sufficient minerals. And then this final statement is what Linus Pauling also discovered, that without minerals, vitamins cannot be absorbed by the body and are virtually useless. So the amount of people that are taking supplements, predominantly vitamins, and actually they might as well just chuck their money straight into the bin because their body's not absorbing any of it due to the lack of minerals. This phrase, subclinical disease, may be new to you, but nonetheless, it's something which is recognized in the medical world, and it's kind of pre anything that is able to be diagnosed. It's when people might just not be feeling right. So it ends up transforming into, for instance, as you can see here, things like heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis. But that is after many years of dealing with a symptomless disease, which is, if you like, forming and in the process of becoming something else. Subclinical disease starts where there are no actual symptoms as such. It's when the body is beginning to head off into a direction that is detrimental towards your health. Stage 2, you can get things like allergies, headaches, tiredness, painful or swollen joints. Now, not every time that you get a headache or an allergy, I would stress, is that a stage 2 symptom, but these are the kind of things that can appear. Stage 3 is when it begins to manifest into some recognizable form. Now, the bad news is that plant mineral deficiency is a major cause of this. The good news is plant mineral deficiency is a major cause of this. And the reason it's good news is because it is easily rectified simply by taking high quality plant derived minerals. Go to simplynaturals.com. There's fantastic information there on an audio supplied by Dr. Bender and his unique outlook on not just health, but also how you can prevent illness. So many people are suffering with all sorts of things. You've got, as we've mentioned before, subclinical disease, but many things here where people are on piles and piles of prescription drugs. And what isn't mentioned here is the side effects of those prescription drugs themselves. And they're taking all of these remedies and nothing is working. You wonder why. Well, again, going back to what happens with mineral deficiency, it could well be that that is the fundamental cause. Now, I said to you earlier on that we will prove to you that everyone needs it. You should be shocked by these figures in front of you right now. Now, these figures are put together by the World Health Organization, UK Ministry of Agriculture, UNICEF, etc., etc. This is not a marketing gimmick. These are internationally respected and regarded health organizations. And you can also see that this is not a fly-by-night survey. It's been taking place over about 100 years. But look at the results. Due to over-farming, the mineral depletion in Europe is around 72%. The UK is top of that league. We're a small island, overpopulated, overfarmed. We don't rest the soil. We don't put back in what we take out. Think about it. Every single time a crop comes out of the ground, those plants have taken minerals with them. So the ground gets more depleted. But look at North America, good old USA, 85% depletion, and in some cases 100%. In some cases there are no minerals left in the soil at all. So you might be sitting there feeling a bit smug, thinking, well, I eat organic, so I'm all right. Well, it's no longer the case that an apple a day will keep the doctor at bay, because when you've got a reduction in iron of 96%, a reduction of magnesium of over 82%, and other minerals, as you can see here, then there is not a lot of goodness left in your apple. The point is not whether it's organic or non-organic. The point is that the soil that all of these are coming out from is desperately, desperately depleted. So this is more shocking news from this excellent book, Naked Calories. They have calculated that people eating a standard American diet would need to consume nearly 28,000 calories per day in order to take in a micronutrient, in other words, primarily mineral intake, which according to the FDA is based on just 27 micronutrients per day. That will be nowhere near the minimum 60 minerals that we're talking about, and will be designed to just keep the body ticking over. Of that, I have no doubt. And the tragedy of this is that people who are struggling with obesity will normally be buying cheaper food, cheaper mass-produced food, and they will be eating big quantities of it because they're starving for the very nutrients that they're looking for. The irony of it is that they're consuming huge amounts of food and they're starving. That is absolutely tragic. So if it's not in the ground, and it's not in our food, and it's not in our bodies, then where on earth, quite literally, do we go? Well, where we go is back in time, 75 million years ago, to what is known as a prehistoric vegetate, which means that it's not fossilized, it's not rock, and that's the significance. To when Brontosaurus used to roam the land, to when trees had leaves the size of bus shelters, and the soil was abundant with minerals, absolutely abundant. So we have this as our source, and we extract this using pure water. We dry it out over a period of time, having filtered it first, and end up with our effervescent, sizzling minerals, which is affordable pretty much to everybody. To give you an idea, 1 month's supply, as I said, you get 2 tubes with 30 tablets that come in. Most people will take 1 per day. Those 2 tubes, if you were to buy a one-off order, it's £28.97. But remember, we need 60 minerals at least, and that should be in our food. So you don't take minerals and go, right, that's it, I'm mineralized up. This is something that our body needs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So to make this more affordable, the company has an auto ship system whereby you get it for £23.97. You can stop your auto ship at any stage, by the way. So it's not £1 a day. It's just about 80 pence per day, which, given the cup of coffee scenario, pretty much everybody can afford that. Each tablet contains 75 pure plant minerals. 60, as you'll remember, prevents illness. 75 takes you into a different league. The colorings that we've got, it says no colors. The colors that we've got are actually natural plant colors, fruit and vegetable colors. Vegans, vegetarians can take them, as can people of all ages. We have elderly who sometimes will break them in half, put half in a glass of water in the morning and sip that, half in the glass of water in the afternoon and sip that. Similarly, when you have young people taking these energy drinks that are just designed to fry the adrenal system. Why are they taking energy drinks? Because they don't have the amount of minerals that they need. Give them these minerals instead of the energy drinks and just notice what occurs. So you've heard this phrase, plant-derived minerals, many times. Why? What's different about this when you can go into the high street and possibly buy things that would appear to be cheaper? Well, the next slide will demonstrate this perfectly. It's the size of the molecules. When you compare a mineral that is from a metallic molecule, it's like comparing a football to a pinhead, which is that of a plant mineral. And the difference and relevance of this is that the plant mineral is 7,000 times smaller than a human blood cell, which means that the human body can absorb everything that it needs. When you then consider that taking metallic or chelated minerals, your body might absorb 10 to 20% of these, and you'll be buying 2 or 3 or 4 pots of calcium, for instance, iron, and 2 or 3 others at £7 to £15 per pot, and your body's only going to absorb at the most 20% of those. You compare and add all of that up to our wafers, which have 75 minerals in each wafer, which the body absorbs 100% of for only 80p per day, and the price comparison, frankly, goes straight out of the window. It's important to note that Simply Naturals do not claim to cure anything with these sizzling minerals. What seems to occur is that when people ingest these minerals, something happens to their immune systems and their body's remarkable ability to heal itself. Interestingly too, it seems to send it in the direction that it's required. Said at the beginning that this is a life-changing product. We have people that are taking this. One lady has taken this, she had ME, and within 24 hours, rather than taking an hour and a half to get out of bed, she was up and about after 10 minutes. Similarly, we have people who are struggling to sleep for whatever reason, and upon taking sizzling minerals, they find that they have a deep quality of sleep, waking up fully rested. As a byproduct, we have other people that are taking these and their acne clears up. We have people who have been struggling with arthritic pain and suddenly their pain is either reduced or disappeared altogether. Similarly, we have people type 1 and type 2 diabetics that are reporting a reduction or a complete cancelling of their medication. Also, people that struggle with blood pressure, whether interestingly it be high or low, upon taking these after a few months, are experiencing that their blood pressure is totally and utterly normal. So it is remarkable what's going on. And on the other hand, maybe it's not, given that if when we have insufficient minerals, our body starts to go skewy, then this may be just a simple correction. It's the body's ability to heal itself, which is what is truly remarkable. It's no real surprise that we're now getting endorsements from people in the healthcare profession, therapists of all kinds, including beauty therapists as well, who are noticing that their clients are experiencing greater hair growth, clearer skin, and stronger nails. So endorsements are coming right the way across the board. This testimonial from Ken Anderson really says it all. One point I would add here is that you cannot deal with sports people at this level and give them anything that doesn't have positive effects. The other thing to also mention at this point is that Simply Naturals have been cleared by the international body that vets all nutritional products for world-class athletes. So world-class athletes and people who just play Sunday League football can take these, knowing that there is nothing untoward in these products for them to take. But let's look at this. Ken's saying, since being introduced to sizzling minerals several months ago, I have no hesitation in recommending this exceptional product. It is the ultimate health supplement for anyone who wishes to enhance and promote their general health and well-being. With 75 minerals in every wafer, it is beyond comparison and is by far the best product of its kind on the market today. Nothing really to add to that. If you go to seethevideos.com, you'll find a wide range of testimonials, some of them very moving, from people with a wide range of conditions. So it will give you an idea as well as to what these are being used for and who's benefiting from them. Now, it is the case that on occasions people won't notice any tangible physical benefits, but we had a Harley Street doctor who wanted to ensure that something was going on for his patients if he was to recommend these, and he took a series of blood samples, and this is what came back. In just 5 weeks, the blood transformed from what was flat, lazy, fairly stagnant, fairly grubby looking blood, if you can have such a thing, into healthy, round, vibrant blood cells in a far clearer solution. Now, the significance of this is that you're not likely to walk around within 5 weeks and go, do you know, I could swear that my blood's cleaner. But if you just consider this is what's going on in your blood, then imagine what's going on in all of your major organs, in your skin, in your bones, in your muscles, in your brain, in every single part of your body. In short, it would seem to be safe to say you cannot not benefit from taking these plant-based minerals.